I never loved you. She opened our marriage. I ended everything. The words didn't come with anger. That's what made them lethal. I never loved you. She said it quietly, almost gently, as if confessing a minor inconvenience. We were standing in the kitchen, the light above us humming softly. Evening, ordinary, the kind of moment life uses to hide knives. My phone was still in my hand. A missed call, unknown number. I hadn't answered it. I looked at her face, my wife's face, and tried to find the familiar shape of guilt, or fear, or hesitation. I found none. Her eyes were steady, decided, free. I want to open our marriage, she continued, like this was a reasonable sequel. I need to feel alive. Alive. The word echoed somewhere deep where my pulse used to be. I nodded, slowly, carefully, as if sudden movement might shatter the illusion that this was still my life. Inside, something shifted. Not pain, not yet. Something colder, more precise. The hum of the light grew louder, or maybe my hearing sharpened. I noticed details I'd never noticed before, the faint scratch on the counter, the way her wedding ring looked looser than it used to, how her voice carried relief now that the lie was finally out. I didn't want to hurt you, she added. That almost made me smile. I said nothing. Silence has weight when you know how to use it. She mistook it for shock or weakness. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. That was the moment I understood something vital. This wasn't a conversation. It was an announcement, and announcements don't require consent. I looked at her and realized the marriage had already ended. She just hadn't noticed yet. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay beside her as she breathed easily, the confidence of someone who believes the worst is over. I replayed her words again and again. I never loved you. Not, I don't love you anymore. Never. The difference matters. Memories rearranged themselves with brutal efficiency. The late nights, the sudden interest in self-discovery, the guarded phone, the way she'd stopped asking about my day but expected me to listen to hers. There were names she mentioned too often, stories that didn't quite line up, smiles that appeared seconds too late. I had ignored them. Love makes excellent excuses. Now love was gone, and clarity rushed in to fill the space. Opening the marriage wasn't honesty. It was permission seeking after the crime, a way to baptize betrayal in modern language. I watched her sleep and felt nothing. No urge to shake her awake, no need to shout, no tears pressing behind my eyes, just calculation. She wanted freedom without consequences. She wanted to rewrite the rules mid-game and still win. I understood then, this wasn't about desire. It was about power. She had decided I was safe, predictable, that I would accept scraps in the name of progress and love. That was her mistake. The next morning, I kissed her cheek before work, same as always. She smiled, relieved. She thought I was processing. I was planning. I didn't confront her, not once. Instead, I observed. I noticed how she angled her phone away from me now that the lie was out, how opening the marriage hadn't slowed anything, it had accelerated it. Meetings, trips, names that changed weekly. I didn't ask questions. Questions reveal ignorance. I already knew enough. I pulled phone records, not illegally, efficiently. Patterns emerged, late-night calls, consistency disguised as spontaneity. I checked shared accounts, new expenses, hotels paid in cash but reimbursed elsewhere. She wasn't careless, just arrogant. I scheduled a medical appointment. Routine, I told myself. The doctor's neutral expression told me more than words. Tests followed. Results came sealed in a plain envelope. I didn't open it right away. Some truths need timing. I spoke to a lawyer next, not emotional, transactional. I wanted to know what silence could buy me, what patience was worth. At home, I played my role perfectly, calm, accepting, curious even. "How are you feeling about everything?" she asked one night. I shrugged. "I'm adjusting." She nodded, satisfied. She mistook my restraint for surrender. Inside, I felt the slow burn of something deliberate. Every step brought structure, control. I wasn't trying to save the marriage. I was documenting its death. The envelope sat between us on the table. She frowned at it. "What's that?" "Open it," I said. My voice didn't shake. That surprised her. She hesitated, then tore it open. "Read." Once, twice. Her face drained of color. "No," she whispered. "That can't be—" "It can," I said, "and it is." The test confirmed what I already suspected. Her freedom came with consequences, ones she hadn't considered, ones she assumed I'd absorb quietly, like everything else. She looked up at me, eyes wide, searching for panic, for anger, for comfort. I gave her none. "I wanted honesty," she said, voice breaking. "That's why I told you." I almost made me smile. Laughed. "You told me after," I replied. "After you decided, after you acted, after you rewrote us." Tears came then, real ones. Too late. "I made a mistake." "No," I said gently, "you made a series of decisions." Silence fell. Heavy. Final. She reached for my hand. I didn't move. The papers were already signed, mine at least. I slid them across the table, calmly, like returning a borrowed item. "What's this?" she asked, though she knew. "Closure," I said. Her breathing quickened. "You can't just—" "I can," I interrupted, softly, "and I am." She cried then, properly, the kind of crying meant to rewind time, to activate sympathy. I watched with detached interest. "I never loved you," she repeated, almost unconsciously, as if hoping the words would soften with use. I stood. "That was the only honest thing you ever said to me," I replied, and it freed me. I walked to the door. She followed, panicked now. "We can fix this," she said. "We can close it again, start over." I turned. "You opened the marriage," I said. "I closed the future." I left her there, among the echoes of her own choices. Weeks later, the apartment was quiet, empty, clean. I slept better, ate better, thought clearly. People asked if I was okay. I told them the truth. I'm finished. Not broken, not healing. Finished. Sometimes endings are victories you don't celebrate. You just carry them forward, lighter, sharper. She tried to contact me once more, a message full of regret and memory. I deleted it without opening. Power isn't loud. It doesn't explain itself. It walks away and never looks back.